Alrighty, no DQ Galaxy and professional wrestling fans and sports entertainment enthusiasts and extras galore. We are heading live as we prepare to discuss the biggest party of the summer. We are, of course, talking about SummerSlam. So here we are. So hello once again, everybody, and welcome to another No DQ Galaxy predictions panel. You know what this is, for I'm the Simplin, and my name is Noah Foster. With me tonight is one of the four horsemen of Simplin Predictin. My pleasure, always welcome onto the forum, Christopher Rotz. And for the first time ever on the No DQ Galaxy predictions panel, I'm happy to welcome the debuting Justin. Gentlemen, how are you? Are you looking forward to what's ahead this SummerSlam weekend? Justin, I will start with you. Welcome to the family, too.
Am I looking forward to it? Sure. If this is the last time we're gonna see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar face off.
Right. Allegedly. And then again, everything right now is a big what if, is it last?
And if not, then no, not looking forward to it at all.
Well, I respect that honesty. Chris, here we are once again, my friend. We might not have Jeff Chadwick and Mark Griffith with us. They're up with us at Spirits. Jeff, enjoy your vacation. Mark, you're always a horseman for life, man. Appreciate everything you bring with all your teams. But Chris, how are you? And what are your expectations so far as we head into SummerSlam weekend?
I'm looking forward on SummerSlam. This is Triple H's first WWE Premium live event as the head of creative.
Yes.
So I am really interested on this SummerSlam. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I'm really excited for this. We could have some big returns coming up tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to this SummerSlam. Definitely looking forward on Roman versus Brock tomorrow. And I also want to give a shout out to Aaron Riff and Caitlin. I'm deeply sorry for your loss. If you need anything, we're all here for you guys.
Well, we are No DQ, and your opinions matter too. Say yes to No DQ, folks. All right, well, good stuff, gentlemen. And yeah, I will say this. As far as the card goes, I'm like, okay, celebrity, rematch, celebrity, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, Roman versus Brock 257. So my expectations are a little bit meh, but there is some stuff here that does intrigue me, especially now with Triple H as head of creative. And we know he definitely plans to influence some changes here with what we think might be outcomes or what will happen on this card, but only if they make sense. But with that being said, without further ado, let's get right into it. So once again, it is the biggest party of the summer, as they mark it. And yes, folks, we are here to discuss WWE Premium Live Event, SummerSlam. And of course, your opinions matter. You could join the prediction leagues too. The links in the description down below. So come join the party and let's see if you can get the high score here on the craziest pinball machine game in the WWE right now, known as SummerSlam. Interesting to use the pinball theme. I guess Pins Mechanical is a thing, though, in Nashville, Tennessee, because I went there. But I've always thought about, beach, but we're on the music capital. So, whatever. Here is the current team standings right now. So far, Sengoku, No DQ Super Saiyan, he's holding it very strong, followed by Big G, TJS, Kayfabe, along with the rest, as I'm right there in the middle, proudly with Aaron Riff and Caitlin. Shout out to the entire Team No DQ. And folks, I will be updating the Team No DQ roster, considering a lot of changes that have happened recently within the team too. So stay tuned for more on that. But last but not least, I value everyone's opinion and encourage everybody to get involved and have fun here too with the Galaxy. And Chris, so far you're holding it down with 58 points, but there's still many, many, many high caliber competitions ahead for you in the likes of Charlene, Chaz Rotz, Ashley Reynolds, Jeff Chadwick, of course, Mark Griffith, and so many others. I have to work on trying to do these separate sheets because I know they're small. But shout out to over the 100 of you that's been so far part of the Galaxy, whether continuing or one time, including you, Justin. So again, folks, get your predictions in. They're due 7 p.m. tomorrow night Eastern Standard Time as I try and wrap up everything as we whip the Jeff Meacham Network too. But that being said, enough statistics, enough hype. Let's get right into the thick of this thing. And we'll go ahead and start with this because when I think about this match, is this match telling us maybe the story of the night? Shades of WrestleMania 31, per se. You tell me. As the United States Championship is on the line, where the almighty Bobby Lashley defends the title against Austin Theory. Oh, wait, it's just Theory. I forgot. First names don't exist under McMahonism. Although now it's Triple H, so maybe that won't be no longer a thing. And hello, Gabriel, and hello to all of those that watch on live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Thank you so much for your viewing. That being said, this right here is obviously a rematch from the Red Crate of Hate. Oh, no, wait. It was Hush Money in the Bank. That was the last one. See, I lose the order sometimes. But obviously, we know that Bobby Lashley beat Fury for the United States Championship. And since then, though, Fury was inserted as the wild card or the ace up Mr. McMahon sleeve in Money in the Bank, and he won the briefcase with the fans leaving in droves because Mr. Selfie was on top of the ladder. Well, now he has a chance to regain the United States Championship and, of course, his contractually obligated rematch, but also he has Money in the Bank. So, what do we look at here? Is there more to this? Is he trying to be United States and maybe undisputed Universal Champion by the end of the night? Is he maybe just trying to get this message or send a message to the Universal Championship match and talk about that he's the most dangerous force? Because right now, Mr. Money in the Bank, since his daddy's gone, has been WWE's whipping boy. And honestly, right now, he's just trying to look for maybe some sort of momentum, some sort of acknowledgement. Does it start here with claiming the title or maybe setting up a statement and getting DQ'd? Justin, you're new to the forum, so I will start with you. What do you see going on in this match? Does Bobby Lashley leave with the gold still?
Ooh, yes, he does. I don't see Fury reclaiming his United States Championship, and I'm gonna go one further. I see Austin Fury cashing in, but I don't see Austin Fury leaving with the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So, whoever the Universal Champion is, please let it be Roman. I don't think Fury is gonna end the night well as champion. So, Fury is gonna be on the curse of Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, if Fury cashes in, it'll be the day the music died. That being said, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Chris, what are your thoughts? Do you echo similar sentiments towards Justin, or do you see some other outcome here? Does Fury get disqualified maybe in the name of self-perseverance, if this opens the show especially, to maybe have that sort of motivation and physical well-being to even try and get involved in the main event? But as far as this match goes, does Lashley still lead with the championship?
Well, I'm going to go off of the limb, and I am going to say Bobby Lashley is definitely going to retain the United States Championship tomorrow night. Fury's going to get beat down many times. Bobby's going to put Fury in a hurt lock, and Fury's going to tap out. Bobby Lashley's going to retain, and we could get some new challengers for Bobby Lashley's United States Championship.
Well, they definitely need to do something with the mid-card picture because there isn't a whole lot going for it right now, considering the likes of AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler form as a mixed tag team. Can they coexist? And will that actually lead to something? We're just going to have to wait and see. Shout out, by the way, to the 26 of you so far that's put in your predictions on the forum, including but not limited to you, Chris, Tyler, David, Charlene, Statboy Mike, Dwayne Atkinson, Shane Wells. Welcome to the team, by the way, Shane. DJ Whitty, Rodney, and, of course, Tim. As far as United States Championship goes, it's almost unanimous. 92% believes that Bobby Lashley will still come out of this match as champion. What I didn't put down was, hey, does it win by disqualification? So, again, you guys kind of have a bit of a split personality when it comes to this, but we still all have the same result. The Almighty still rules the United States of America. All right, good stuff. Now, let's go ahead and move on from a title match to a grudge match that literally was set up on Monday night. As we wonder, who does Judgment await for? Is it the Mysterios? You tell me. As we have a no disqualification tag team match between Dominic and Rey Mysterio and the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley is back. Now, whether or not she's fully medically clear to compete, that's a whole different thing. So, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this story. As we saw on Monday Night Raw, celebrating 20 years of Rey Mysterio. Thank you for that, sir. God bless you. One of the greatest cruiserweights of all time, strongest influences in all of professional wrestling, defining that impossible is simply a word. We saw what happened when they were able to win a tag match against Finn Balor and Damian Priest on Monday night. And afterwards, they got assaulted with Rhea Ripley, welcoming herself as a uninvited party guest, taking out his daughter to a degree. And next thing you know, they assaulted Rey Mysterio, and we nearly saw him leave on a stretcher. As they said, happy anniversary. So now we have this match. In my opinion, this is a handicap match. But what's the bigger story here? Because we've seen the vignettes. It's Edge, folks. And we wonder who's coming after maybe the Judgment Day, per se, with a vendetta. We all know it's Edge. Does Edge show up at SummerSlam on the Monday Night Raw afterwards? With it being no disqualification, how physically violent and brutal can the Judgment Day be? Who needs to go over here more? Who needs to move forward more in their WWE career? Finn Balor's already established main, been lost in the shuffle, it seems, in Monday Night Raw. Damian Priest, former United States champion, joined the Judgment Day because of this. And Rhea Ripley, we thought she was going to be involved in a different match later. Not to be the case, still something to come. But what about Dominic Mysterio, the guy that is the son of Rey Mysterio? Will he be the one to finally turn on his father, join the Judgment Day as we've seen over the last few weeks? What is the story to play out here? Who needs to go over further? When I look at all the different scenarios that could come out of this match, result-wise, I feel the Judgment Day needs something for them. And whether or not it results in Edge versus Finn Balor and the Judgment Day push more as a dangerous threat on Monday Night Raw. It's a 3-on-2 when you look at the setup right now, because I don't think Aaliyah is trained for wrestling, and I don't see somebody like Catalina coming out on the Mysterios' behalf. The biggest angle I could see is Dominic Mysterio betraying his father. Maybe taking the mask, maybe that special gear that his wife and his daughter got from Mysterio is used against him in some way, maybe torn apart. Is this the moment that Dominic Mysterio turns on his father? Do we get some sort of huge family moment here of a different sort? Chris, I'm starting with you on this one. What is the end game for the Judgment Day when it comes to this No DQ tag team match? What happens?
Well, I think what happens in this match is there's a lot of possibilities that could happen here. We could see Dominic turn on his father, and somewhere down the line, we're going to get father versus son. That's going to be the end game right there. Or I can see Edge coming back and taking his and gain his revenge on the Judgment Day. And we could get either Edge and Finn Balor at Clash of the Castle in September, or we could even get Judgment Day versus Edge and Rey Mysterio, because Edge and Rey Mysterio were a tag team back in the olden days. I could see them reunite the face against the Judgment Day.
Right.
My pick for this match is, I see the Mysterios having momentum. They've been gaining momentum recently. Judgment Day, they keep losing. Something's got to give for the Judgment Day. And personally, I definitely believe tomorrow night the Judgment Day will beat the Mysterios. And I got a gut feeling we could see Dominic finally betraying his father tomorrow.
All right. Justin, if that betrayal angle happens, does Dominic go on his own, alone, or does he join the Judgment Day? Or do you see some other scenario playing out here where ultimately does the Judgment Day carry out their judgment?
Oh, man. No, I think Dominic joins the Judgment Day, to be honest with you. I think we're going to have the stable of Rhea, Dominic, Finn, and, Damian. And I don't think the Judgment Day and Edge are going to go at it at Clash of the Castle. No, I think they're going to probably wait until, like, the horror show at Extreme Rules, or if that's what it's going to be called in October. But I think that's when exactly the Judgment Day and Rey Mysterio and Edge will face off. But I'm gonna add one more. Maybe they bring in AJ Styles for like a 6-man tag team match, so we get Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio versus Edge, Rey, and AJ Styles.
All right. Well, we all know AJ Styles also is working alongside Dolph Ziggler right now, and we kind of even figure about the Ziggler effect. Does Ziggler maybe, once again come into play on Austin Fury's match, either with the Money in the Bank briefcase cashing attempt or the United States Championship. Is Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles a longer-term thing, or was that just one-off?
No, that's if Fury cashes in tomorrow night, that's when Dolph Ziggler gets involved, and that's how the champion walks out with the titles. Is Dolph Ziggler, interfering in the Money in the Bank cash in?
Imagine Dolph Ziggler try to seize the Money in the Bank briefcase himself. Talk about that angle later. But regardless, right now, we all believe that the Judgment Day will somehow come out as the victors in this match. What's to come afterwards, though, regarding the Mysterio household and maybe Edge's return, to be told, to be known, to be shown. All right. Well, according to the Noted Q Galaxy that's pulled so far, we have a 73% chance that the Judgment Day will win, while 26% believe that the Mysterios will get some sort of revenge. So we'll see. I mean, we all saw what happened last time Dominic was involved in SummerSlam a couple years against Seth Rollins, and Rey Mysterio was handcuffed. Maybe they'll handcuff Rey Mysterio and assault Dominic, use him literally as an example of what happens when you mess with the Judgment Day, when you go against what we believe in. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But good stuff. Okay, as we move on from there. Okay. Who am I supposed to hate here more? Who's the baby face? Who's really the heel? Ciampa, are you really now working with The Miz on his behalf? Why are you even doing this? Are you trying to make me believe that Logan Paul is somebody that we actually are supposed to like? Triple H, I hope you find some sort of way to influence this match to really turn it around. Maybe Ciampa takes out both. Let's get this over with. Logan Paul goes one-on-one with The Miz, where it comes down to who has the bigger balls, apparently. And right now, it's not even the two men in the ring. And Blue Chew apparently is not part of their subscription, which hasn't helped them. Apparently, it is... Sorry, did I say that out loud? Apparently, it is Maurice. That being said, I really do not care about this match. I have little to no interest in this match. But because he is the newer signing to the WWE, it almost makes sense that Logan Paul is winning. So, as much as it cringes me at this moment, I'm going to say that freaking Logan Paul wins, and this is not a one-off, because at this point, The Miz is already established name in the WWE. If you're a newcomer to WWE or returning to WWE, you work with the softest man at all sports entertainment. And at this point, this is a wrestling match. This is a match of two polarizing Hollywood egos, but one that garners way more respect from the WWE universe. The only way I see Miz winning is if Maurice hits Logan Paul in the balls. But then again, The Miz does have Ciampa also in his corner, or so we think. So right now, maybe a disqualification finish. I don't think this is a one-up, but also the way they've gone about this is so screwy. I can't even read this match. I almost want to flip a coin. Heck, I might change it again tomorrow. But right now, I'm going to say, fudge it. I don't care at this point. I really don't care. And saying Logan Paul wins right now just made me want to barf in my mouth. Oh, 100%. Miz wins. Simple as that. Don't do this again. Chris, your thoughts on this match?
Well, we all know The Miz.
Now, a little bit steamed right now, if you can't tell, and it's not the heat. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. We know The Miz has tiny you-know-what.
Are you trying to bring up Niagara? Seriously? God! Anyway, gotta continue.
This is gonna be a good match with Logan Paul and The Miz. I'm gonna say right now The Miz has Ciampa in his corner. This past Monday, AJ Styles were hyping up Logan Paul, and I could tell you, yeah, we could see some messy finish out of this match. I see Ciampa being in the corner of The Miz. I think Ciampa could help Miz out a little bit. But at the very end, I think AJ Styles is going to help out.
AJ Styles influence again.
and possibly just attack Ciampa and let Logan Paul and The Miz have a clean finish. But I think in a way, I'm going for Logan Paul to defeat The Miz tomorrow night at SummerSlam.
far as AJ Styles that did endorse Logan Paul for what he did, if they do AJ Styles and Logan Paul versus Ciampa and The Miz at whatever the next premium live event is, I'm gonna. All right, so you went with Logan Paul, Justin. 88% believes that Logan Paul is going to beat The Miz, and again, I feel the only reason is he just signed to the WWE for the long term. He already got his WrestleMania moment, though, with The Miz in tag team action, and The Miz dropped him face first with the Skull Crusher finale. When was the last time The Miz actually got a realistic singles win? The Miz due for one, in my opinion, but what's your thoughts towards this match? And not what happens afterwards, in or out of the bedroom.
Jeez. Oh, Noah, you always seem to amaze me every single time. You know that whether it's the round table with Jeff Chadwick or the Simpsons quote in the MWL chat or now this, damn.
I try.
Oh, buddy, I hate to say this, but I got Logan Paul win this one too. But hold on a second.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I don't have The Miz pinning I don't have Logan Paul pin The Miz. I just have Logan Paul win by disqualification.
Okay. So you just feel that they're just gonna beat down the daylights out of this man, Maurice, Ciampa, Miz.
Oh no, it's gonna be all Ciampa. It's gonna be all Ciampa.
Oh, it's gonna be all Ciampa. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless Maurice comes out with that handbag with a brick inside it. I don't think she got everything she wanted out of that slap on Monday Night Raw, is all I gotta say. But, okay, so I am in the minority. And honestly, Miz is more realistic to pull off a face roll than Logan Paul ever will be. Well, if there's one thing I hope, I think this is actually safe to say. If there's one thing I know that won't happen during this match, face the Triple H ahead of creative, we won't see Jake Paul with him. Talk about nuclear heat. For a different amount of reasons, but I digress. All right, well, now we're moving on from there. Good grief almighty, that made me sick. Let's go ahead and move on to something that makes me feel a little bit more tolerable when I think about this story. Almost feels like a long-term story. 1 year in the making. You tell me, nearly 1 year in the making, as Jeff Meacham can attest to. Hi, Jeff. The Raw Women's Championship is on the line once again as Bianca Belair defends the gold against, for the insert time here, big match, Becky Lynch. All right, let's go ahead and run this down, shall we? So, as we know, last year at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch made her return and beat Bianca Belair in 26 seconds. Eesh. Ever since then, Becky Lynch did everything possible to dodge Bianca Belair. She could not dodge her, though, when it came to WrestleMania, and Bianca Belair beat the man on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania, and became the Raw Women's Champion. Since then, we have seen Becky Lynch now go after the Raw Women's Championship by hook or by crook and by any means necessary, despite the interception of a Carmella for reasons. We have seen now Asuka and Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair in a triple threat match, and Bianca Belair was able to overcome that. Bianca Belair has now overcome Carmella twice, and Becky Lynch has found her way back into this match, beating the likes of Asuka and Carmella in singles actions on certain occasions. So here we are once again. Do we finally close the book on big-time Bex and have Bianca Belair move forward to try something on her own for the long term with a brand new face, maybe Alexa Bliss, who's now putting her name out there, for the Raw Women's Championship? Or does Becky Lynch bring Bianca Belair down to earth and once again shows her you're not ready to hold up in the big time? Does Becky regain the gold? Maybe somebody on her behalf helps her. What does that do for Bianca going forward? Does Bianca go heel? For me, I have been saying it since this thing's been going on. Becky is better as the chaser versus the chased. Bianca Belair, in my opinion, still needs a long-term, serious singles program to test her merit and value as Raw Women's Champion. And again, it should have been Rhea Ripley, but again, health things happen. It is what it is, but I would not rule it out. And now she's back, and I wonder what that means. But I think right now that Bianca Belair deserves to retain and needs to, and both women need to move forward to a different thing. So whether it's Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss, whether it's Becky Lynch versus insert name here until an inevitable draft, Bianca Belair needs to retain the gold, in my opinion. The EST deserves to be on top of Raw in the meantime in the WWE. And that's my states on that. Justin, your thoughts towards this match. Who you got?
I got the hometown girl taking this one and I don't think Bianca's gonna lose in her hometown. I don't think Bianca's.
Do you realize what you just said though? Hometown, not lose. WWE, one of these things just doesn't belong here.
I know. Last time WWE's been hometown of anybody's, they lost. Damn. But that was on the Vince McMahon. This is on the Triple H.
Fair point.
And to be honest, right now, I think Triple H likes Bianca Belair more than Becky Lynch right now. So, I don't know, but I really, 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 really hope this is the last time that Bianca is facing Becky Lynch. God, it's so cringe.
Well, what's more cringe, the matches or the attire?
Both.
Fair point. All right, Chris, a majority believe that Bianca Belair is going to retain 88% in fact. Becky Lynch at 11. A key word here, retain. Does Becky get so upset that she can't beat Bianca Belair that, God help us, we get a disqualification and run this back somehow at Clash of the Castle? Or, again, does Bianca get the definitive clean win here, like at WrestleMania, and we close the book altogether? Or do you see some other angle coming out of play? Somebody else getting involved? Somebody returning? We all know that Becky Lynch did once slap Triple H in the face. We also know that Triple H literally has Bianca Belair as an NXT product. And with Triple H's head of creative, there's definitely going to be a lot of influence, I feel like, towards this match in particular. So what's your thoughts?
Well, it's going to be an interesting match. I'm going to tell you, what we saw at WrestleMania Saturday, I think we're going to see it here at SummerSlam. It's going to be an entertaining match. It's going to be awe-inspiring. It's going to be a great match all around tomorrow night at SummerSlam. What happened last year, Becky Lynch came back and beat Bianca in 26 seconds to become the women's champion.
Yes.
They run it back this year at SummerSlam, a year in the making. They finally will put this to a closer. And yeah, whoever comes out on top is going to be on top of the Raw Women's Division. I believe I'm going for Bianca Belair to retain the Raw Women's Champion. Yeah, this is in her hometown of Tennessee. And yeah, if WWE does give us, Becky's going to win the Raw Women's Championship tomorrow night, I will probably be like, what did WWE do? But this is Triple H's WWE. And he could do whatever he has to do, what is best for business and what is best for us. He's going to listen to that. I think Bianca is going to definitely retain here. And there's a lot of good challengers. There's Alexa Bliss. She wants to be the next top contender for the Raw Women's Championship.
Right.
Or I think this is where things could get really interesting, and you have the returning Bayley. I have a gut feeling because there's rumors going around that Bayley is scheduled to be in Nashville, Tennessee for SummerSlam. And if Bayley does perhaps show up, I think this is where you have her return is in the Raw Women's Championship. And then you could probably do a feud with Bianca and Bayley for Clash of the Castle.
They never had that I Quit match. You're absolutely right. Okay. Well, we will certainly see what happens, but either way, we definitely see that the EST is going to remain on top in the WWE, at least on the Red brand. So, good stuff. And as far as Becky goes, psych ward. I don't know. All right. Let's go ahead and move on from there into our other, what will we call this? Special occurrence match. At least this one's got more depth. I still hate one of the characters. I'm not smiling, even though one of them is smiling. We now will go and talk about this match here as Pat McAfee takes on former, I kid you not, running teammate on the same football team. Hey, Justin. Happy Corbin. All right, so this match pretty much writes itself. Well, I guess there's a bit more depth to it. I do wonder who was the better player on that team. And I could go look at the statistics probably on ESPN. I probably will say Pat McAfee. But anyway, we got Happy Corbin upset that once again Pat McAfee has not supported him, and Pat McAfee made sure he was laughed out of Minnesota. And then we saw Happy Corbin assault Pat McAfee multiple times, including after Money in the Bank, where this really came ahead. And since then, Happy Corbin, he pretty much has not been smiling. He's pretty much been angry. I like that side, personally. And Pat McAfee gave a great promo on Friday night how he's going to beat the daylights out of Happy Corbin. Now, whether or not he calls him a douchebag like he did Fury at WrestleMania, that's yet to be seen. Whether or not he does his own commentary, that's yet to be seen. But Pat McAfee won back at WrestleMania, and I do wonder now if this program of Happy Corbin is a one-off or something bigger. I forget who it was on the No DQ panel I was with, but someone did suggest that maybe at Survivor Series, where you don't think about champion versus champion or brand supremacy, you think about maybe team leadership. And with these two having an NFL background, it makes sense for them to coach. Do you get Team Corbin versus Team McAfee at Survivor Series, per se? Because of just that aspect, I'm actually torn on this one. And Chris, I'm going to start with you on this. What's your thoughts towards this match? Do you have Pat McAfee getting the last laugh over Happy Corbin? Or do you see Happy Corbin getting a joke over Pat McAfee in victory? What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is this is actually going to be a really exciting match between Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin.
No doubt, they're great workers. I agree about that.
They're great workers. They were on the same football team in the NFL. This is actually long-term storytelling, and let me tell you this: there's facts here. You know that both Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin were roommates together.
Yes. Happy Corbin brought that up himself.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is really a long-term storytelling. And when Money in the Bank went off the air, we saw that aggressive side out of Happy Corbin. I believe Happy Corbin needs to have a new gimmick. I just don't care about Happy Corbin at all. I want to see that aggressive side out of Corbin. I want to see the lone wolf again. I want to see a different gimmick out of Corbin. Not the happy side. I want to see a different gimmick of Corbin. And I personally believe Pat McAfee had a good showing at WrestleMania when he took on Fury.
He did.
That was a great win for Pat McAfee. And yeah, I didn't go for Pat McAfee at WrestleMania, and I should have.
Cool.
I should have, but I went with Fury. So I'm going for Pat McAfee on this match. And I don't know if this is going to be a one-off or a two-off. I just don't know what the direction is going to be after this match. But I see Pat McAfee gain his second win in WWE.
Fair enough. Justin, in the home state of the Tennessee Titans, what are we going for here? Who runs the ball into the end zone for the touchdown? Will the football even be involved here? Do you got Happy Corbin or do you got Pat McAfee? What do you see?
I got the former punter for the Indianapolis Colts taking this one, Pat McAfee. I don't know what position bum-ass or whatever, or I'm just gonna call him bum-ass Corbin.
All right, I accept.
I don't know. I don't know what position he played for the Indianapolis Colts, but I can tell you right now, Pat McAfee was the way better football player than bum-ass Corbin. And I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning can tell you exactly that right now. But
all right.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that one.
A fair stance. And the Nordic Galaxy is absolutely unanimous right now when it comes to Happy Corbin should win. And I do agree so at this point, too. At this point, everybody wants to see Pat McAfee succeed because he relates to everybody because he's a fan. He truly demonstrates he's a fan in and out of the ring. And I'm not just talking about that because he could do a perfect Kurt Hennig pencil toss and catch. But yeah, in my opinion, I just feel like Pat McAfee does deserve the win here. And Happy Corbin, go find your happiness and your money, or go find out that the check bounced and go back to being the depressed bum you were, bringing emo out of you. And maybe once again, you'll be more tolerable to the W Universe too, as that guy that didn't smile and give jokes worse than a one-night stand-up comedy act. So yeah, I think that Pat McAfee does deserve to win this too. Even if this does may result somehow in Survivor Series Team McAfee versus Team Corbin, which could be an attraction because I don't know where Survivor Series even is this year per se. I don't think they announced it.
I think it's in No, it's definitely in Boston, Massachusetts. I think
it is.
Because they said Survivor. Because from what I saw I think it's in Boston. You know what? Give me 1 second. I can go on the TV. Go to your next day, and I can look it up on the TV.
You're fine. But I'm just saying, does Survivor Series come into play in the continuation of these two feuding per se? I just feel like right now, Pat McAfee, he needs to win game 1. So that's my thoughts. Chris, you have a further thought before we move on?
Yeah. Did you say the No DQ Galaxy was a 100% unanimous on Happy Corbin for the win? Because I think you just botched.
I said Pat McAfee.
I thought you said
Pat McAfee.
I thought you said Corbin. I thought you botched
Absolutely
on
not.
that.
Nope, I said we're all unanimous with Pat McAfee because he is a fan like us.
Okay, here it is. This was from the TV going 6 days ago. It was a true WWE SmackDown to remember. Has us craving for more. Don't forget, WWE Survivor Series returns to the TV going for the first time in 9 years on November 26th.
Okay, there you go. All right, so we'll see what that means. And if we do get Team Corbin versus Team McAfee, I'm still going to be Team McAfee all the way. I don't know who Corbin has as a friend at this point unless he pays them. And I don't know even if he pays them who could tolerate him. So, bottom line, Pat McAfee for the win. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on from there to, you did talk about news to the WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, the following match has been postponed due to injury. That's all you need to know. There is no Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins at SummerSlam. Okay, let's move on from there, shall we, to an actual match that actually is happening. Tough break. This match is happening, though, as the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships are being defended by the Bloodline. You know who they are, the Usos. Defend them against the Street Profits, but this time with a special guest referee. I'm, of course, talking about JEFF JARRETTJ, Jeff Jarrett. Ain't he great? If he comes out on a horse to that song, I'm going to freaking lose it, especially with the LED JJ hat. All right, but back to this match. Round 2 with the Street Profits for the titles. They still want the smoked. I say they're going to get smoked once again. I have the Usos retaining because there's no team right now that can surpass the Usos, what they are, and what they're doing in the WWE realistically. At this point, they're going to probably circle back to the New Day once they get past the repackaged Viking Raiders. So that being said, Montez Ford, he has the spark to shine as a single star, and I do see the Street Profits eventually turning that red Solo Cup upside down and breaking up. And I think this could be the proverbial nail that breaks the camel's back. Regardless, I have the Usos retaining because I feel at this point you're foolish to bet against the Bloodline because of how marketable, how over, and how dominant the friggin' act is. It's as simple as that, in my friggin' opinion. As far as this goes, though, it looks like some people are with the Street Profits. 26% believe in them, while 73% believe in the Usos. Justin, we talk about all the time. Every team, every streak, every great run has an end. It has their maker. We saw how close they came at Money in the Bank, but during the pinfall, of course, we saw that the Usos pin Montez Ford with the shoulder up entirely out of rest position during the decision. So rightfully, yeah, they do deserve this match. Now, whether or not Jeff Jarrett is unbiased here or somebody pisses him off, that remains to be seen, especially what's happening 24 hours later. Just saying. But Justin, do you see new tag team champions?
Nope, I don't. I don't see the Street Profits winning. I really don't want to vote for the Bloodline, but it's Usos and Street Profits. Okay, Usos get the win there. It's Roman versus Brock. Okay, yeah, Roman gets the win there.
Spoiler alert for his later prediction, apparently.
I can't root against the Bloodline here. So, as far as Montez or D'Angelo or Dawkins turn on each other, I think it's Montez that's going to turn on Dawkins, and like you said, turn the red Solar Cup upside down.
Pour one out for Toby Keith.
Yeah. Oh, and the way that the Usos get the win is Jeff Jarrett is gonna get involved in this match sooner or later. Let me ask you a question here, then, Noah. When was the last time we had a special guest referee, not get involved in a WWE match? Exactly. We haven't.
Chris Jericho maybe against Shawn Michaels versus Batista.
Okay, well that was like 14 years ago, but
I'm just saying.
But my point, to pinpoint my point here, Jeff Jarrett is gonna smash the guitar either on Montez or Dawkins' head. And you know what? I'm pretty sure Paul Heyman's gonna be like, "Hey Jeff, you're the special guest referee. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Go smash one of them."
The fix between the former NWA World Champion and the owner of ECW. Now you're really opening a forbidden door. I don't know what the relationship is with those two. All right, so he obviously has the Usos retaining. Chris, we're in Music City. That's why Double J is here. But also Double J, he is involved in a very interesting tag team match 24 hours following this Freedom Live event on pay-per-view. That being said, does Jeff play in the finish, or does he play part towards the finish? But maybe he walk out on the match because, they piss him off too much. Do we get a normal official? Maybe the official that even did the pinfall wrong at Money in the Bank be the ultimate factor at the end of this match. What sort of shenanigans, do you see maybe going down during this? Because again, Double J, it doesn't take a lot to piss him off, but he did say he's going to call it right down the middle. I'm pretty sure you can put air quotes around that sentence. Your thoughts towards this match?
Well, what I saw in Money in the Bank, we're going to see it again at SummerSlam tomorrow night. I think this match is going to be a 5-star match.
Oh, God. Dave Meltzer in the building.
No, I am not Dave Meltzer.
Oh, you're right. You're Christopher Meltzer.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
The only one that rates the WWE system. Continue.
5-star match. It's going to be a heck of a match between Usos and Street Profits. I'm actually torn on this match.
Really?
I really love the Usos. I like the Street Profits. And yeah, we're going to get that eventually. Street Profits splitting up and they're not going to be a team anymore. I could see that initial split happening maybe during the draft. That's when I can see it happening. Right. And I know the WWE draft is coming up in September of this year, not in October. So September is the 2022 WWE draft. Okay. If they do the split, I think Montez will stay on Raw and Angelo will head over to Friday Night SmackDown. But when was the last time the Street Profits held a tag team champions?
I think, weren't they former Raw tag team champions, if I remember correctly?
They were former SmackDown tag team champions, and then when the New
that's right, and they traded with the New Day. Yep.
Yep.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while. And here's the thing. If the Street Profits win, that could fuel the fire on Roman Reigns, because they could have a backstage thing where the Usos will be with Roman. Roman's upset, saying, "You guys lost the tag team championships." Now I have to go through my match worrying about if I have to lose my titles also too. They could do a backstage thing with the Usos and Roman, where Roman's upset that the Usos lost. And that can start frictions right off the bat. And people could say, oh my gosh, is the bloodline going to split up? Is the bloodline going to split up? They could start that tease right off the bat here.
Bold booking idea.
Right now in the prediction form, I did say the Usos are going to retain the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. I have a gut. I know you guys said the Usos, but I'm gonna. Here's the thing.
He's fickle. He is fickle.
I think I know where he's going with this. He's going Street Profits.
But he can't literally do it while he's wearing that shirt.
I just can't.
Oh man.
Either way,
Chris, you got SmackDown to go for tonight too, brother. So calm your head.
I have SmackDown tonight.
Yeah.
But in this panel video, I'm gonna go off of a limb and say it. I think the Street Profits are going to be the undisputed WWE Universal Tag Team Champions. I have an inkling the Street Profits are going to possibly be the ones to end the Usos title reign. Because with the Usos, there's no legitimate whatever word that is.
Legitimate.
We'll go with that. Who can actually defeat the Usos and become tag team champions. Maybe AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler. I don't know. But where's Robert Roode been at?
Don't get me started on that.
I'm not. But I think with the Street Profits, you could have different tag teams go after for the titles. I think you give the Street Profits one last run with those undisputed tag team champions and finally end this with the Usos.
Well, you're saying that the New Day was not their maker. You think the Street Profits will be round 2? We'll see. But as crazy as it might sound, Justin, he's not alone in that thought. 26 people believe the Street Profits potentially could be the ones to dethrone the Usos of both of those sets of straps. So we'll see, especially like you said, with a draft that is definitely pending. But again, just don't piss Jeff Jarrett off. That's all I got to say about that. You do that, bad things are going to happen to both teams. I can see Jeff laying out both teams somehow and pissing both off. Because Jeff Jarrett is the type of guy to do that. All right. Well, as we move on from there, believe it or not, we only have 2 officially announced matches left, and I can't imagine they had something else in SmackDown. What a wild idea. I mean, there is another title that hasn't been on Premium Live Event since WrestleMania 37, but I'm just saying. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about the SmackDown side, as that's all that's left on this card, and it's the 2 predominant championships they have on that roster, starting with this, because to me, this feels more important than Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, because Liv Morgan, it's time for us to truly see you. Good luck. Liv Morgan defends the SmackDown Women's Championship against what I now think is going to be the ultimate badass version of Ronda Rousey. Uh-oh. All right, first off, Liv Morgan. She has been the seminal favorite of the WWE Universe for over 8 daggum years. We've seen her growth, we've seen her passion, we've seen her dedication. Ever since Triple H's NXT, through Monday Night Raw, through the Riot Squad, through the short-term tag team of Rhea Ripley, to standing out on her own, to being short-term with AJ Styles and Finn Balor, to finally claiming her moment at Money in the Bank in front of her friend and cashing in on a throne. Ronda Rousey. And right now, she has definitely been one of the biggest original pops in WWE's recent memory for the women's division. Liv Morgan is the champion we want to see as a babyface. We want to see thrive for a long time. We are behind her. And that's why she's on the Peacock friggin' banner for SummerSlam. Just saying. I believe there is stock in reinventing your women's roster with Liv Morgan still as the champion. But I do believe something needs to change in Ronda Rousey. They tried the babyface thing, and it failed miserably. And then they tried to bring third-party things like OnlyFans in here against Natalya, and how'd that work out with that rivalry? That being said, for me, this is a match of survival. This is a match of presentation. This is a match of perseverance. But regardless, whether Liv Morgan is broken, she needs to be victorious. Ronda Rousey needs to stick it up the WWE Universe for real and go back to the badass we know that she can be and try to run roughshod over the WWE. And I think that happens with her not having the SmackDown Women's Championship. So I believe somehow, some way, Liv Morgan should and will retain. That being said, Justin, the No DQ Galaxy believes that Liv Morgan will retain at 73%. However, 26% believe Ronda Rousey will reclaim it. Now, Ronda Rousey reclaims it. Do we get the same Ronda Rousey? Or does she F off the W Universe and take over SmackDown the way we truly want to see? If Ronda Rousey loses, does she go heel on her own? Does she unite with Shayna Baszler? Do they form the Ultimate Tag Team and try to overthrow the WWE? With Liv Morgan winning, does she want to go after Ronda Rousey again? Does she send as bad as a statement against the champion to the point that Liv Morgan still feels like she needs to test herself again? Does somebody else come into the title picture? What's your thoughts? Who leads the SmackDown Women's Champion?
Oh, before I answer that, unfortunately, I think I have a bad feeling of who's going to be back in the title picture if Liv Morgan does win, or if Ronda Rousey wins. And you want to talk about cringe? How about a for the insert many times here, Charlotte? Hey,
Mark.
You say that, Mark, you made it, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy ahead of all the teams, true horseman of the No DQ Guys Predictions panel, getting his Wi-Fi together, clearly. Mark Griffith, good to see you. As you right now are frozen, keep working on that. Continue, Justin, because I know what name you're about to drop. And hello, Nathan, good to see you.
Yeah, the name I was about to drop was Charlotte Flair. Yeah. So I don't want to see a Charlotte versus Liv, and I don't want to see a Charlotte versus Ronda, but either way, whoever wins the title, we're going to get Charlotte Flair. So I want Liv Morgan to retain this so badly because she's been waiting her whole entire damn life to become SmackDown Women's Champion, and tomorrow night better not be her last chance as SmackDown Women's Champion, because I'm telling you right now, if WWE makes her a transitional champion, you can pretty much guarantee that I'll shut SummerSlam off right before the main event.
Oh, wow. Talk about really turning your back. Well, there is some interesting retrospective towards you saying that as I go to you next, Chris, and save this gentleman for last. Last year's SummerSlam, who was involved in a title match? The Money in the Bank winner who cashed in on the champion the night after Money in the Bank and became champion. But here's the thing, and the difference I see. Technical difficulties. Try again, Mark. Nikki ASH does not nearly have as strong as a following as I believe Liv Morgan does. So, Chris, does Liv Morgan survive Ronda Rousey and still come out? Disqualification or surprise the world and get a clean victory? Still as the SmackDown Women's Champion come the end of this match at SummerSlam.
Well, this is going to be a good match with Liv and Ronda. I'm happy that Liv Morgan won the Money in the Bank. She deserves it. This is her time. This is her time to shine in WWE. This is her time to put on the best Liv Morgan we will ever see in WWE. This is going to be a good match no matter what the outcome is. And yeah, Justin, I do agree. Charlotte Flair, she is going to probably be on her way back. This is the thing. I hope Triple H's vision in WWE is not put Charlotte Flair in a championship match all the time. I'm actually getting sick of that they got to put Charlotte in that title match after like every premium live event, every match after every match after every match. I'm sick of it. I hope this could be the last of many that Charlotte is not in a title match whatsoever. Give it to different superstars that deserve it. And yeah, Charlotte, she's a Flair, and she has Flair as a last name. Come on, WWE.
You almost wonder
overall,
if that's a blessing or a curse. Anyway, continue.
But personally, overall, I'm gonna say Liv Morgan retains the SmackDown Women's Champion tomorrow night. If Charlotte comes back, that's totally. Yeah, it will suck for us that Charlotte is back. She's in a title match again. Maybe you build up new stars, like build up Lacey Evans, build up Aaliyah, build up Shayna Baszler, and also bring back Sasha Banks and Naomi. Bring
That's
them.
bold
No,
statement.
Okay.
Bring-
I'm gonna interrupt. I'm gonna.
Justin's calling the red flag on the play.
I'm gonna I'm sorry, Chris. I hate to interrupt you right there, but WWE, please do not bring back Sasha Banks. Please do not bring back Naomi. Okay, trust me.
Oh.
The way that they walked out, and Chris, I agree with your opinions. I respect your opinions on this. Here's my opinion on this. Sasha Banks and Naomi, the way that they walked out was perfect. I mean, I get it. It was under Vince. Okay, cool. It was under Vince. But come on, no. Sasha Banks and Naomi, I think right now are better off without WWE. However, like you said, if Charlotte Flair does come back, or if Bayley comes back, okay, then I can see Sasha Banks come back, because then we can get like the 4 horsewomen back. But until Charlotte Flair and Bayley comes back, Sasha, no, stay away from WWE, please.
Chris, your rebuttal.
Well, either way, and yeah, with the reports going out, WWE is trying their absolute best to bring back Sasha Banks and Naomi. And yeah, and I'm going to tell you this. When they walked out of Raw and they were uncomfortable fighting with a in particular superstar, I feel like both of them were getting the drift of what was going on behind the scenes with the whole allegations thing with Vince McMahon. I think
Most likely.
Sasha and Naomi got the drift, and they just pull out and just says, hey, I don't feel comfortable, and they left. And personally, without Vince in WWE anymore is going to be a blessing. It's a blessing. With Triple H, if he wants to bring Sasha and Naomi back, let them. I feel they deserve to have another opportunity in WWE to shine and give them.
Try this again.
Build them up to be contenders for Women's Championship to come.
All right. Now then, Mark, brother, welcome to the forum, my friend. So we're currently talking about the whole aspect of the SmackDown Women's Championship picture. So before you talk about that, your thoughts on this match, maybe what should happen for both Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan. First off, good to see you, brother. How are you? Your thoughts on SummerSlam tomorrow, and give us your takeaways on the SmackDown Women's Championship match.
I'm actually excited for it because I don't know if you guys touch base on this or not, but Triple H wants to make a splash, and I mean this might be a big topic that you guys have already covered, but I'm really looking forward to seeing, like, Triple H has the strings now, and I'm waiting to see. I'm not going to be disappointed if like I don't get exactly what I want, but I'm really looking forward to seeing which direction they do go in this whole card, and I think going forward we're gonna learn a lot. So I'm looking forward to that.
Fair enough. And again, always a pleasure, my friend. Again, we are part of the original Four Horsemen. Shout out to Jeff again, who's on vacation. So, what's your pick so far on the SmackDown Women's Championship? Do you see Liv Morgan somehow survive Ronda Rousey? Does she pin her clean? Does she get DQ? Does Ronda go full heel? What sort of outlook do you think is going to be on this match? Will it have the Triple H effect, like you're saying?
It's funny you started with that one because I have an answer, but I don't know how we get there. Like, I feel like Liv Morgan is going to win this, but I do not know how she's going to win this. And the easy thing is just to go with Rousey. Okay, Liv had her moment, and just give it back to Rousey going forward to maybe possibly face, I don't know, Becky or anybody. But I feel like they're going to keep it on Liv. I almost feel like there would be like Twitter would, like, the IWC would explode if Liv lost it, like, immediately. So, but how do they do it? I don't. Do they give Liv 2 wins over Rousey? I don't know if they do that. I think I picked Liv on the form, but I'm not too comfortable with it.
I think that's fair. Again, what's one of the most dangerous finishes in all of WWE? The roll-up. Just saying. At this point, Liv Morgan, it's her first ever championship match as the champion defending. So, will she play with champion's advantage? Will she at one point maybe feel desperate? We do not know what Liv Morgan will be as champion. This is her first test. There's not a greater test than this, besides Charlotte Flair, at this point in the WWE. So this match is going to define what I feel like the WWE Universe can expect with Liv Morgan as their SmackDown Women's Champion. Either way, we are in agreement that right now, Liv needs to be seen as this in order to reinvent maybe the SmackDown Women's roster and also push her forward. If she loses this match, game over. Pun intended. I feel that's it for her. So we will see what happens. And as you sort of alluded to, the Triple H effect, what will it be? Will it come into play? Will we get some crazy shenanigans? Will someone come on Ronda Rousey's behalf? Does Shayna Baszler maybe come in the picture somehow? Do we get some sort of weird tag team out of that? The most dangerous tag team of WWE. We'll have to wait and see. I also want to give a shout out real quick to Caitlin Riff, who sent me her predictions, and she also agreed with us on Liv Morgan. As far as the other ones, and this is where I'm going to give the Mark momentum now. Mark, Caitlin believe in Bianca Belair, the Usos, Bobby Lashley, Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, and the Judgment Day. Do you disagree with any of those picks? And as far as the rest of the matches go, do you have maybe an alternative outlook that we probably haven't covered, or something that maybe is just crossed your mind?
I think I agree with pretty much everything there. The only swerve that I feel like out of the bunch is maybe Corbin, but I don't even see that. The only thing that I wanted to touch on that you guys probably didn't cover, or maybe you did. Do we split the Street Profits up here? I mean, I think Usos win, but is it because of Dawkins or Ford turning on one another? I mean, are they going to go forward with that, or do you think they just better keep the Profits together, or what?
We actually did cover this one, and we basically said that I basically said that Jeff Jarrett gets involved and hits like the Street Profits in the head on one of them, and I basically said, like, if the Usos do win this match, then I said that Ford turns on Dawkins, and basically like what Powerhouse Hobbs did to Ricky Starks when he lost the FTW title on
Drop
Wednesday.
that boy.
Yeah,
Jeez,
pretty much. So
I actually forgot the aspect of Jeff Jarrett being in that. I actually want to. I remember saying something on the meltdown. How would you like if Jeff Jarrett? I don't know what his contract deal is. This might be a one-off or whatever, but it's just my creative mind going with it. But what if who's gonna get hit with the guitar? Like, I mean, could D'Angelo? Could Hawkins turn heel and Jeff Jarrett be maybe like his manager? And like maybe that's what the whole thing is of bringing Jeff Jarrett in, is something that maybe Hawkins and Jarrett are planning this. I mean, I doubt it, but I'm just trying to think of maybe possible scenarios.
That's way out there. I didn't think about that. I thought Dawkins, if he actually does go heel to last longer as a singles, he'd probably get invested by MVP.
I like that too. The only thing I worry about is that I just don't want the Otis and Tucker effect. If they're gonna do if they're gonna do the same thing they did with Otis and Tucker, don't even break them up.
Yeah, that was a bad approach. Oy vey, Heavy Machinery was. Otis was the star of that team. I know that, but still, we don't need a record. And again, the Triple H effect. This is a Triple H team after all, from his NXT former NXT Tag Team Champions that won in a 4-way at NXT TakeOver 25 ladder match. So, again, it's one of those things. How much does the Triple H effect come into play? I feel like this is a better pre-show panel / main event hype panel than what you're going to actually watch in the SummerSlam thing. Let me guess. The SummerSlam is a 2-hour pre-show, isn't it?
No, it starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow, just for 1 hour.
Oh, okay. So it's still 1 hour of pointless nonsense with insert robot here and Kayla Braxton. Okay. That being said, Chris, anything further to add regarding what Mark said earlier when it comes to anything else that we talked about on SummerSlam that we might not have covered, or a creative outlet that he provided that maybe got your mind working? I mean, you've been particularly torn with the Street Profits and the Usos. Did you thought about that outcome?
No, I thought about when I was doing this all week. I was going in my head about the Usos Street Profits,
and you still are, clearly.
And the worst couldn't really. I was starting to make progress of it. One day I picked the Usos. One day I picked the Street Profits. I kept going back and forth. And now today it came out that the Street Profits, I picked the Street Profits as of now going to win this match. And I am hearing that Triple H wants to make a creative splash for SummerSlam. I just don't know what that creative splash is. We just have to find out and see what it is, but we might get news about that maybe after SmackDown tonight or during the day tomorrow.
All right. Well, before we talk about the main event, I did promise Chris his moment. So, Chris, this is your moment here. You want to specifically talk about this and how it's not happening. However, there's a famous Triple H quote. There's always a plan B. What sort of plan B do you think we're going to see? Because it sounds like regardless, Seth Rollins is going to be at or involved in SummerSlam in some capacity. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts on this with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is still going to have a match. Triple H even reached out to Seth when Seth treated this out. Triple H says, I hear you. Then I was on Ringside News and says, Triple H is expected to make Seth Rollins a match for SummerSlam. I believe Seth is going to have a match tomorrow night. I think it gets announced maybe tonight or it happens tomorrow. It will be the biggest shocker ever if the opening of the show, Seth Rollins comes out and Seth demands, okay, I'm not facing Riddle because of he got injured. I think Seth Rollins demands a match at SummerSlam. And I can see maybe Triple H coming out to the fans, Triple H talking to Seth, and says, if you want a match, I will give it to you right now. I think I'm going to predict this. Seth Rollins is going to open up SummerSlam tomorrow night. I think that is how you open the show. But his opponent, I got 5 superstars, and hopefully one of these 5 can give me a no DQ shirt by the end of this night.
I'm gonna make you pick one of those 5, but go ahead and name off your list.
Oh, that's gonna be hard now, Noah.
I ain't gonna make it easy on you. Who you think I am?
Okay, my first one, I'm gonna say Kevin Owens.
Okay, that'd be an interesting take. Right now, Kevin Owens isn't fighting Ezekiel Elias, so right now he's not doing anything. Continue.
Number 2, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles currently doing some of Dolph Ziggler. Is this a new tag team? Was this a one-off? Because they did take on the Alpha Academy. Is this a sub-tag team program? Wait and see. Continue.
Number 3, Goldberg.
Goldberg! No! No one wants to see old Gray Whisker Biscuit cram his head into a locker room and friggin' lose his breath on the way to the friggin' ring. Are you kidding me? He can't keep up with Seth friggin' Rollins. Continue.
Number 4, the returning Bray Wyatt.
That's extremely bold considering what happened the last
Fiend.
time Seth and Bray were in the ring.
And number 5, and this is the superstar that I am actually going for. So, Noah, you did not make this easy for me. I
never will.
I already know who I have and who is going to face Seth Rollins tomorrow night. He's in Nashville.
Yes.
He's going to be doing, I don't know, he's doing signings tomorrow.
Who's not?
There's a superstar out there. He's a free agent. He's getting signed to the WWE tomorrow night. And this is going to be interesting because his name is Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny freaking Gargano.
I have a gut feeling Johnny Gargano is coming back to WWE, and he's showing up tomorrow night at SummerSlam to take on Seth Rollins.
That would be a massive pop, especially if Triple H was the one that comes out and says there's always a plan B, considering when he said that line, Seth Rollins broke the Shield that night. Does anybody have any thoughts regarding anything that Chris just said? Mark, I will start with you, man.
Yes, I agree with him 1,000,000,000%. Because this is what I was going to say. I was actually going to say this in the chat earlier, but my audio was messed up and I never got it out. But if I was Triple H, I would do anything and everything I could to have Johnny Gargano and Seth Rollins open up SummerSlam. I swear that would blow the roof off that place, and that's just me personally. And I think that's the right move. I don't know if he's going to do it, but I think it would be great.
Well, Justin, we saw previously when Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were together on the same brand as a tag team, it wasn't all fun for wrestling, it seems, especially when it came to creative. And, of course, we saw what we thought was Johnny Gargano's last stand in what was our NXT, and his team ended up losing it in the end. And since then, Johnny Gargano, of course, he and his wife, Candice LeRae, congratulations, they had a child. He's been, doing things with fatherhood, Twitch, and doing his own thing. We literally just saw Johnny Gargano endorse as a one-up, apparently. He's not signing Impact Wrestling. Alex Shelley, last night in Impact Wrestling, ahead of Alex Shelley's first ever Impact World Championship match at Emergence against Josh Alexander. And we all know that Johnny Gargano is indeed in Nashville. He's doing a thing that's literally what's next for Johnny Wrestling with the NXT logo. So, Justin, is this a reality to come? Is this actually possibly a thing?
I don't think Gargano gets signed, but I think he will be at SummerSlam. I just don't think he'll get signed. I think okay. I'm gonna be a little bit of an AEW bias right here for a second. I want to see new scenery for Mr. Johnny Wrestling a little bit here. I'm gonna be completely honest. When Claudio, formerly known as Cesaro, debuted in AEW, I was so happy. I was thinking like, okay, maybe sooner or later we can get Johnny Gargano here in AEW. Here's my thought. Tomorrow night, I think Johnny does face Rollins. But I think that's it. I think that's the only match that John's going to have in WWE. Because, again, yeah, Triple H is WWE right now. But the way that Johnny left NXT, I think, to me, in my head, I was thinking like, okay, that's the final time we're going to see Johnny in WWE. So I think with William Regal in AEW right now, I think that's the perfect place for Johnny Gargano to go. Because William Regal has always seen what Johnny Gargano can do. So maybe if somebody in the Blackpool Combat Club, gets seriously injured, like I think right now it's like Eddie Kingston or something, or somebody, we can possibly see Johnny Gargano in that. But yes, I do see Gargano coming to now. I do see Gargano at SummerSlam tomorrow, but that's it.
special attraction, one off the final farewell to Triple H as he makes his decision well known. But again, right now, everything's unsure when it comes to the direction of the WWE. So I do like that take. But Chris, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, if it is official, you will have a no DQ shirt from me. We will see what happens tomorrow night. All right, well, with that being said, gentlemen, we didn't do any 3-minute retrospectives. We didn't do any pointless pre-show gimmick. We didn't do any marketing posturing. I think it's been enough fun, fulfilling, engaging what-ifs and wrestling talk. It is time for the main event. For, allegedly, the last time ever, allegedly, it is the head of the table, Roman Reigns, defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar in a last man standing match. Now then, usually I'm the one that gives you a bit of a retrospective, but courtesy of our chat, a certain individual asked me personally to make sure he was first because he's got a lot to say. So Chris, and no pressure, man, you're just wearing a very specific shirt. Your thoughts and your picks towards this match and what has to be the ending of this year's SummerSlam.
Well, this went all the way back to last year when I wore the wrong shirt last year at SummerSlam around this time.
I wonder what shirt he's talking about.
Yeah, John Cena. Last year, Brock Lesnar returned out of nowhere at SummerSlam last year. And personally, it brought up a lot of bad memories with Brock Lesnar and I. I said on the forum, any final comments and any final thoughts on SummerSlam, I did put down, I'm ready to close the book on 8 long years. It's been 8 long years with me and Brock Lesnar, and I'm ready to close the book tomorrow night. Fury, you better see your way out of it because your daddy's not here anymore. So he needs to see his way out of this. It's only me and Brock Lesnar. This all started in 2014 when he ended the streak, when he took Cena to 16 German suplexes over and over again. Every time Brock comes back, it's been eating me up alive. I am so ready to move on with this, finally close the book, and I can enjoy my life with everything. That's why tomorrow night, this is going to be a good match between Roman and Brock Lesnar. One last time. One last match, last man standing. I am going for the right guy this year at SummerSlam. And the right guy is the head of the table, Roman Reigns. I'm going for Roman to retain the undisputed WWE Universal Champion tomorrow night. And his next challenger, and I'm making another prediction here. I am going for Drew McIntyre to defeat Sheamus tonight on SmackDown. And we are going to get a Clash at the Castle, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. And at the end of SummerSlam, the whole entire world is going to acknowledge Roman Reigns still at the head of the table.
All righty. Mark, a majority does believe in Roman Reigns, 76%. 15% pick Brock Lesnar. 7% pick Austin Fury. Does Fury cash in on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar tomorrow night at SummerSlam? Who leads the gold?
I don't think he does. I think he teases it, but I don't think he does. And as far as the main event goes, I'm thinking about all the times we've seen Brock and Roman and how many separate finishes they've had to come up with to make it interesting, to make us even want to see the next one, because I know it's The last one, or no? You can you do a better than I do. Yeah, allegedly. How many finishes can you have? I would say this is the moment where you can make a statement and leave Brock laying. But they kind of did that at Madison Square Garden where he stood over top of him. So they kind of already did that. What if this is a finish where Brock like completely obliterates Roman, and what if Roman bleeds? When was the last time Roman bled? What if he was completely painted red, and the way Roman wins is similar to how Dax pinned one of the Mark Briscoe last weekend, where kind of he rolled over and he was just like his lifeless body pinned him.
What if oh my god, that match. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, that's kind of like I feel like they could get by with a finish like that. What if like Brock pushes Roman to his limit? We've never seen Roman like this before. He's completely bloody, and then whatever happens, it could be a lucky shot or whatever, and Roman just passes out on Brock or something. That would probably be the only way I can see a finish that we haven't seen before.
Well, let's go ahead and try to run down the history. Again, it's 8 years. It started off back at WrestleMania 31. Brock Lesnar defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns. Seth freaking Rollins cashed in and pinned Roman to become the champion. You go a little bit further down the line to WrestleMania 34, and you have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar booed out of the building to the point that Brock Lesnar bloodied Roman Reigns with bare elbows. And yet, Roman Reigns, he fought back. Well, to be speared the man, it took an F5 and another F5. Brock Lesnar came out still the champion. You go to where these guys were involved in a steel cage, and they get speared through the cage, and Brock Lesnar still leaves as champion because his feet hit the floor first. You then look at SummerSlam at one point when it was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, and it was the time that Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar and became the Universal Champion. Now, we look at this Roman Reigns, though, because I'm talking about all previous different Roman Reigns, not the head of the table. I'm talking about the guy that was shoved down our throats to the point nobody wanted to see this man. Ever since the pandemic, redefining, reinventing the term sports entertainer and what Roman Reigns can be, sound like, look like, and can do, and can tell in storytelling in the WWE. It is the most over thing in the entire industry. There, I said it, Virtue. So that being said, we see now Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, literally this WrestleMania, they converge the titles under one name. Not a single strap yet, though. Maybe that's something to come. And we saw that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar both legitimately injured each other, but Roman Reigns still came out on top, spearing Brock Lesnar. Although I still feel like that Kimura lock was the death note nearly to the Tribal Chief's reign. Just going to say that now. And here we are. So, they call this last time ever. It's not the first time, though, WWE has marketed a phrase and lied to us. Once in a lifetime, people. And both matches before a championship. Just saying. Well, no, I guess the first one wasn't, but it might as well have been. So the thing here, though, what has sold this match? Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has not only sold us on the accolades and the fierce, danger, violent, realistic mentality of Brock Lesnar, he also sold us in what Roman Reigns needs to channel, needs to find motivation in, needs to showcase if he's going to put down Brock Lesnar for a count of 10. You talk about all the different type of finishes. Every finish with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar outside the cage has been a pinfall, period. And it's come down to spear or F5. Neither one of those can come into factor. It's last man stand. You have to incapacitate your opponent somehow for the count of 10. And we have seen both these men draw it out to a near 10 count when it comes to being counted out. So how do you put someone down for a 10 count is the story here. Will it take the bloodline? Will someone else in the bloodline's behalf show up? Will Brock Lesnar bloody the entire bloodline? Will Brock Lesnar bleed in this match? Will Paul Heyman finally get assaulted? Will Fury, like you said, tease it, try to go for it, and then get bludgeoned and brutalized by both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns to the point he's taken out on a stretcher? It comes down to the story. When I look at Roman Reigns matches, what do I always say? You don't look at the result, you look at the story. Because for me, the biggest marketing, the biggest story, the biggest star in all of WWE is Roman Reigns. So with that being said, I do have Roman Reigns retaining. Now, as far as the Donnybrook thing, that brawl going on tonight on SmackDown between Sheamus, who I'm sure will have Butch, also in his corner with Rich Holland, and also we have Drew McIntyre. Every time we look at a classic castle commercial, who's the selling point for that show? It's not Roman Reigns. It's Drew McIntyre. So if you don't think that Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns is happening at Clash of the Castle, you're crazy. Because the only way that show gets turned upside down is if they somehow put Walter in there in the main event championship picture, and he currently holds the Intercontinental Championship. Regardless, I'm going to just look at this match right now as it is. Fury, if he tries to cash it in, he gets killed. So I don't think he's going to do that if he values his life, especially without Daddy's protection. Ayo. So I do have Roman Reigns somehow, even if it's just barely on his feet for a millisecond and collapses in a bloody heap in the middle of the ring. And maybe that's the final picture, the overhead of both men down flat in a freaking just cacophony of their own carnage they unleashed on each other. Blood, sweat, and tears included. Counseled by Paul Heyman. I do have Roman Reigns retaining and somehow leaving with the titles. He'll be lucky if he doesn't leave on a stretcher. Roman Reigns wins. Justin, you finished it out. How do we end SummerSlam here tonight? Is this truly the last time we will see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, who leaves as the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion?
Like I said earlier when we were talking about Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory, I see Roman Reigns, beating Brock Lesnar, and then Austin Theory trying to cash in, but unsuccessfully. And like I said, Austin Theory ends the night 0-2, and yeah, I want it. Like I said, I want the story to end like everybody else does, and it is gonna be Drew McIntyre or however you say in your voice.
Anyway,
yeah,
continue.
But yeah, Roman wins. Roman ends the night, and that's it.
All right. And a bunch of people say acknowledge the tribal chief. If Fearley cashes in, he will fail. Bray takes Riddle's place. Some people hope it's good. Some can't wait for it. And I do see yours in all caps, Chris. You can't wait to finally close the book on Brock Lesnar after nearly 8 long years. At this point, this has to be the ultimate end game because I don't know how much further you can go than last man freaking standing. And we got a comment here. Thank you for that. Roman will retain. Fury will make an attempt, but get jumped before he can cash in by Lashley. Maybe after he crushes Lashley with the briefcase just to send a statement.
I like that.
Then the Usos, then Brock, then Roman stands tall as everyone lays hurt in the ring. Well, we did find at one point that Bobby Lashley was going to challenge for these two championships. So if Bobby Lashley does come into this picture, maybe Bobby Lashley can find himself inserted into the Universal Championship picture beyond Clash of the Castle, which unless they somehow pull a swerve and literally make Drew McIntyre hold one of these titles, I don't see Roman Reigns separating himself from either of these two championships. At this point, I just wonder, how much longer do you see both these titles as the Undisputed Universal Championship before the Tribal Chief creates his own crown? Just saying. Regardless, we all acknowledge that Roman Reigns will leave SummerSlam as the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. And I'm sure Nashville cannot wait to acknowledge their Tribal Chief. I know you can't, Chris. Well, that being said, gentlemen, great work. And ladies and gentlemen and viewers galore, that concludes the SummerSlam preview and predictions. But before we bid you adieu, Chris, you have one last thought, it seems.
Do you guys think we're going to get, if Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano does get announced during the show tomorrow, is there maybe at least one more match we could be getting added to even out the show tomorrow?
It's Triple H's WWE right now. So unless he adds maybe something on SmackDown tonight, no. Because
I could see something.
9 matches sounds good, but right now without Riddle and Seth, you got 8. That sounds okay to me as far as length goes. What you got, Mark?
I don't know if it's been announced or not. You guys never brought it up yet, but I think it's what we're all waiting for. Gunther and Shinsuke. Are we getting that or not?
Yeah, that's the match I was gonna say.
Will we get a Intercontinental Championship match at a premium live event? If that happens, then I truly will believe there is change in the WWE. If that doesn't happen, you hear it from me right now, I don't believe anything's changing. Period. All right. Well, that being said, I think that pretty much concludes everything. So great job, gentlemen. So, folks, what do you think of SummerSlam? What are your expectations? What are your predictions on what's going to be the first real Triple H influence show underneath the WWE with 100% control? Let us know in the comments down below or find us on social media. So before we conclude, let's go ahead and promote where people can connect and find us too. Again, Justin, it was your first time. It definitely won't be your last. It was a pleasure, my friend. As you know, the Simply Predicted panels, they will continue. Up next is Emergence, followed by, of course, AEW All Out. But where can people find you and connect with you, Justin? Where can people connect with you and find you?
Facebook, Twitter, and all over the predictions leagues.
As simple as that. Just follow the name. All right. Mark, again, man, we've been at this since day one, and I'm not talking about day one-ish. It's not going to stop from here, my guys. Mark, always a pleasure. I know that we got AEW coming up. We got Impact coming up. We got New Japan's coming up. New Japan's introducing a brand new championship that's going to combine Stardom and NJPW. We'll talk more about that, I'm sure, in the fall, especially. But as of right now, we got this weekend, and good Lord Almighty, tomorrow's going to be crazy. And then we got Sunday, even crazier. But where can people plug and promote where people can connect and find you?
You can find me on, of course, on my Twitter and all the team pages. You guys have I've ran them. The Team All Elite, Team NWA, Team WWE. Of course, on the Meltdown and in the No DQ Galaxy right here doing some type of show with Noah. That's most of the time where you guys see me. So,
and we just keep doing our thing. Also, shout out to Ashley again. You got a fierce competitor in this league with you too. I think she's beating you currently. So
I think
Ashley,
she is, man.
Ashley, keep going at it. Good luck. Chris, always a pleasure, my friend. Again, the weekend draws near, and so does SmackDown for that matter. Anything you want to plug and promote, where can people find you?
Well, it's been always a pleasure on being on the No DQ Galaxy Panel League. I had an amazing time tonight. I'm off from work tomorrow. I'll be enjoying SummerSlam, and I'm on my week's vacation. So I'm on vacation mode. So what a way to start my vacation off the right way is with you guys and have SummerSlam tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. The next time we'll be here for a premium live event or a pay-per-view predictions video will be Emergence for Impact Wrestling.
Let's freaking go.
And I don't know if we're going to do back-to-back, if we're going to do AEW All Out and Clash at the Castle. We'll still talk about it in the group chat, and there's so much more. If you want to join in this panel video, just happy to reach one of us out, and we'll be more than welcome to get you on a panel video. Or if you don't want to be on a panel's video and you want just be interactive with one of us, be interactive on the group chat, have your comments in the down below in the live chat, and you could also give us your thoughts on the No DQ Galaxy Panel Predictions League. Where everybody can find me at is my Facebook, Christopher Rotz, my Insta, CMROTZ_6472, my Snapchat, C_Rotz17. My Twitter is uppercase CR, lowercase OTZ24. It's always been a pleasure on having Noah Foster around. Mark Griffin, welcome back. You guys definitely be on here more often. Justin is your first of many predictions panel videos to come. Can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for the next one. Let's enjoy life. Let's enjoy this. Just enjoy life, everybody. Just enjoy professional wrestling. And just just be great human beings out there. Let's all just help our communities out the best way possible to make our country one of the best countries that we have around today. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, God help America, and God bless you for that great outro. I appreciate you, brother. And people, you want to know more about me, know this. As again, we have concluded discussing everything that's ahead at SummerSlam. So whether or not it will be fully entertaining or positively engaging based on the results that are to come, except this, you'll just have to wait and see and check out the premium live event yourself. Only available on the Peacock, of course, now for, I believe, less than $10 a month. Go for $10 if you don't want ads, because screw ads. Simple as that. But if you want to know more about me, know this. For I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah, professional wrestling, damn it! But I digress. Buy the shirt on the Jeff Meacham Network. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Foster1916 for all things wrestling. And shout out, of course, to my ATW family on Twitter. We'll be back later in August. Like I said, there are more Simplin Predictin panels below where I look at all things wrestling. So whether it's these gentlemen or some other folks, usually me and Jerry, Impact, are the simple and powerful duos. So we'll likely be doing Impact Emergence. I definitely hope to go all out with this panel with as many youthful, excited minds as possible, including these gentlemen right here. So stay tuned for AW All Out. And of course, the old school wrestling mentality that grows inside me will definitely be giving you coverage on NWA 74 here and on the Jeff Meacham Network too, and so much more ahead as wrestling never sleeps. And sometimes I don't either. Check out Meltdown if you can, also at NWL, Meltdown316 on Facebook and on Twitter. Feel free to find me again on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Foster1916. Keep following the Simple YouTube channel here for all sorts of live, on-demand, fun prediction panels, forums, podcasts too. Follow the ATW View, a podcast forum that me and my ATW family started as we reached already over 25 episodes. A new episode of the ATW View Pronto will be up in August, discussing everything that's happened in all things wrestling, including the biggest stories, the biggest shows, the Before Dishonor included. Find me on the Daily Slam, bringing you always coverage on AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage on the Daily Slam with recaps and reviews. And last but certainly not least, find me providing you a commentary voice, play-by-play, reactions, and live coverage too on the Jeff Meacham Network. I'll be doing it for both SummerSlam tomorrow night and Ric Flair's Last Match special on Sunday with good old JM Jeff Meacham. And following SummerSlam tomorrow night, you guessed it, courtesy of me and JJ the host, there will be another open mic night. So much more ahead too. But as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, no losers, no betters. They're just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another and respect each other. Protect your mentality too. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. And by the show, Jeff Meacham Network 2. It's as simple as that. With that being said, get your predictions in, and thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell and this video goes live or on demand on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, help me keep growing this YouTube community. Shout out to all 240 plus you that's with me on this fun YouTuber creators journey. It's not laying out anytime soon. For my fellow horsemen, Jeff Chadwick and Spirit on vacation, I'm talking about Mark Griffith and Christopher Ross for the latest wonderful addition to the No DQ Galaxy Predictions Panel family. Justin, I am the Superman Noah Foster. Thanking you as always, tuning into another Simplin Predictin panel where we discuss and look at all things wrestling too. Until next time, get ready for SmackDown and AEW Rampage and the biggest party of the summer too ahead this weekend. Make a positive impact in life. And as always, may you have a good night. Gentlemen, great job. I hope SummerSlam definitely hits the jackpot for you in more ways than one. And again, Roman Reigns, we acknowledge you. Don't let us down. Goodbye, folks.